Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Andrew Pizzelli coming to you live from the press box here at Gaudette Field, where we have women's lacrosse on tap. Today, the 3-4 Seahawks square off against the 3-1 Fighting Scots of Gordon College. I'd like to welcome in now my good friend Leon Bales into the press box. Leon, how are you doing today?
Good afternoon, Andrew. I'm doing well. How are you? Ready to see some good games?
I'm doing well. And Leon, how about you tell us about the Seahawks?
Last time out for Salve, they fell to Bridgewater State 17-5. The Seahawks were dominated on the draw and pretty much out-executed in the defensive end, as the Bears continually found players open in the middle of Salve's defensive zone. For the Seahawks, however, some positive notes. Junior Gina Twitterici led the Seahawks with 2 goals and an assist, while senior Grace Kelly, junior Sarah Woods, and sophomore Catherine Mealy all added a goal for Salve. Senior Josephine O'Reilly also made 10 saves in the loss for Salve Regina.
And for the Scots, after going into halftime tied, they outscored Emerson 5-3 in the second half to defeat the Lions 10-8 this past Thursday. Abby Ilian had her first multi-goal game of the season, while Stephanie Fitzgerald recorded her second consecutive hat trick to spark the Fighting Scots offense. Danielle McGuire made 4 saves in the net for the win for Gordon. This will be the 18th meeting between Gordon and Salve, with the Scots holding a 16-1 series edge and winners of 10 straight against the Seahawks. Salve was dominated and blown out at home on Thursday, but today, on the last day of this homestand, the Seahawks can make amends by getting a win in their first CCC game of the year. We'll continue with starting lineups, the anthem, and the opening draw next. So, Leon, as we approach the opening draw of this game, last time we started by praising Salve for their terrific defense and their quick, hot-starting offense, and we got the exact opposite. So maybe this time we should start by reflecting on the negative things. But obviously, last game out for Salve didn't go as they wanted.
Yeah, Andrew, they really didn't have the defensive effort that we were all expecting. Slow and ruggish off the gate. Not really the tight defense that the Seahawks are known for. And as we talked about in the pregame here, the middle of the defense for Salve just was continuously attacked and taken advantage of throughout the game. We thought in the second half maybe the Seahawks would come out and make some changes to their defensive scheme, but it didn't happen, and as a result, it was a double-digit loss. So we'll see if Salve can play some strong-nosed defense here and maybe try and get some goals early on to take some pressure off of that defense.
And one of the things you had brought up was that obviously we saw it was obvious they were getting beaten off the draw almost every time. And Lauren Geary, who was one of the tallest players for Bridgewater State, was taking the draw. And we'll see who's on draw for Gordon, but I'm looking at Stephanie Fitzgerald, another 5'10 midfielder. So we'll see if Salve can find a way to at least win a higher percentage of the draws today.
Yeah, it looks like Sarah Woods is out there for the Seahawks to be taking the draw, so even though she isn't the tallest on the roster for Salve, definitely a veteran presence. Coach Foster is trying to switch things up in the face-off circle.
So moments away from the opening draw. These two teams, Seahawks 3-4, Fighting Scots 3-1. Gordon has played Salve tough over the years. We'll see what happens here today. Draw control at midfield, initially controlled by Salve and finally controlled by Sarah Woods, who gets bumped and fouled right out of the gate.
And already we see the trend change from last game. Salve finally wins a face-off here, so we'll see if they can build on some momentum to start.
Woods moves to Erin Gerard on the far side of the field, and Gerard will charge into the offensive end. Lob to the middle for Gina Tortorici. Gina Tortorici shooting, deflected wide, and heading towards the corner where it'll be scooped up there.
Good idea by Salve attacking the middle of the zone there. Great early shot, get some pressure on Gordon.
Sarah Woods at the arc, looking to make her move. It's shut off, so she'll back out and move to Tortorici. Tortorici fakes, now trying to drive right, trying to work her way middle, and she gets bumped and fouled.
Good idea by Tortorici there, Andrew. She realized she only had one man covering her. Good idea to attack the net.
And right out of the gate here, Gina Tortorici will have free position. Tortorici charging, shooting, and blocked wide by McGuire. And the first offensive possession here for the Fighting Scarlet, sprinting across midfield and all the way into the offensive zone, lobbing towards the middle for
That's a good job by Salve there to stop the transition offense for Gordon here. They had a man advantage, but Salve did a good job of getting back, setting their feet, and allowing Gordon to have to try and set up their offense here.
Fitzgerald with it, moves to the point. Holding there is Anna Bloomberg. Bloomberg makes her move, trying to work her way middle, and she will get fouled. They must have called a charge. Looks like they call offensive foul on Bloomberg. A little too aggressive there with her drive.
Yeah, she tried to take on three Salve defenders there. The odds are not in her favor on that possession.
Now Grace Kelly lobs for Carly Melanzak. Scoreless so far with 27 minutes and 48 seconds to play in the first half. Grace Kelly at the point starts her drive, and she will get bumped and fouled.
Again, we can see an early trend here so far with Salve, just really
being aggressive.
Isolation plays, one-on-one, being aggressive, attacking the net. Hasn't resulted in a goal yet, but plenty of opportunity still for Salve.
An opportunity here for Grace Kelly. She'll take up free position. 10 yards away from the crease. Kelly shoots, and it scores! Trickles past McGuire, and the Seahawks are on the board first, 1-0.
And just like we were talking about, Andrew, great job by Salve taking advantage of these early opportunities, getting pressure off of Josephine O'Reilly in goal, continuing to attack the net. And we've just seen him come out with a little more fire than last time, definitely.
Usually, we saw last game, Salve, when they were able to get possession, it was a lot of passing around the perimeter and trying to look for that perfect shot or play instead of just going and making a play. And both possessions we've seen for the Seahawks, it's been isolation, let someone just try and drive and get fouled and get free position. I mean, that's an easy formula for goals.
And it seems like Salve isn't really thinking so much about playing right now. They're just going out there and attacking and letting the goals speak for themselves. I feel like last game, Salve just did a little too much thinking, played a little too conservative defense here, but they're starting to turn things around right from the get here.
Draw control, controlled by the Fighting Scots. Stephanie Fitzgerald with it. Moves to Bailey Grinnell at the point. Grinnell. Kick it back to the far side on the wing. Trying to go middle with it. No pass available, so they'll back out.
Good job by Salve keeping the offense right in front of them. Not giving up any holes. Great job of clogging up the middle as well.
Bloomberg trying to lob in the middle, and it's taken by O'Reilly. That was an attempted lob pass that turned into a quasi-shot as it bounced on the ground in front of Josephine O'Reilly, but she scooped it up and outlets Courtney Moulton on the far side of the field.
Yeah, and O'Reilly was very lucky that ball trickled right to her stick. I mean, that could have been dangerous, a loose ball in the middle of the net.
Kayla Sheehan's outlet pass is lost at midfield, and a turnover and then a foul on the Seahawks, so it'll be Scott's ball at midfield. Salve leading 1-0 with 26 minutes and 12 seconds to play in the first half. Driving all the way into the middle, shot just wide of the net and taken by Bloomberg.
Luckily, Salve was able to escape that possession without a goal there. We talk about the middle of their defense being pretty soft, Andrew. It's a prime example right there.
Bloomberg starts her drive again, trying to work middle. Instead, lobs to the corner. Holding there. Move back to Grinnell. Grinnell to Lennon. Now Fitzgerald charging middle, shooting, and saved by O'Reilly. Outlet lost on the ground and scooped back up by the Fighting Scots. Shot in front, off the post and out.
I just got to say, Andrew, that last save made by O'Reilly, a lot tougher than you think. The Gordon player with the pump fake almost got Josephine O'Reilly out of position. Another great save, though, by number 32.
Now Erin Gerard will trot into the offensive end and work her way behind the net. Sarah Woods trying to find her way middle. Kicks back to Grace Kelly at the point. Kelly to Woods. Woods to Tortorici. Tortorici ducks the shoulder, spins, shut off well. She'll back out at the point.
Salve's doing a great job early on of controlling their own pace, Andrew. Last game against Bridgewater State.
Lob comes to the middle. Shot scored!
And that's what I'm talking about, Andrew. You own the pace. You run your own offense. Shots open up. Players get open. Another goal for Salve.
Carly Melanzak scores, and it's 2-0 Seahawks.
And the senior captain, Melanzak, had a lot of opportunities last game. She just couldn't find the net. Great job by her to continue to stay strong, stay offensive-minded, and keep shooting.
So this time the Seahawks off to a quick start, 2-0, with 24 minutes and 19 seconds to play in the first half, and draw control coming at midfield.
Salve was able to get that first goal off of a one face-off, so let's see if they can continue that trend right now.
Draw control, won back by Sarah Woods. It's loose on the ground. And a foul going against the Seahawks. We'll give the ball right back to Gordon.
And you wonder here maybe if there's some CCC familiarity between these two teams here. Even though it's the first meeting of the year, these two teams definitely know some of the key players, the older veteran players on each side. So I'm sure Salve's doing a good job of attacking that game plan right now, of really trying to stay offensive-minded.
Jessica Castleline driving middle shot, scores! Unassisted for Jessica Castleline. And it's 2-1.
And again, it was a great job, great effort by Gordon there. Salve's defenders a little flat-footed there. It seems like Gordon caught them reeling back a little bit. Salve might have been a little too excited off of that last goal. Got to focus, got to put it behind him and play some better defense.
2-1 with 23:41 to play in the first. As the winds pick up here at Gaudette Field, face-off won by Salve Regina, controlled by Sarah Woods, and she lobs on up ahead for Gina Tortorici. Tortorici finds Grace Kelly at the 30. She'll work her way to her left and now sprint into the offensive end. Kelly trying to work middle, shooting on goal, and she scores! Grace Kelly! It's 3-1.
And Kelly realized, again, she had Gordon reeling on that play. A lot of players backpedaling with their back to the ball. Grace Kelly with a nice little zigzag move into the middle, fires a shot to the right, open net. And that's just yet another goal for the leading scorer of the Seahawks, Grace Kelly, her 18th on the year, more than doubling the second player on Salve's roster in scoring.
She gives the Seahawks back a 2-point advantage. 3-1, 23-23 to play in the first.
And you have to think that Coach Foster and the Seahawks run through Grace Kelly, so it's good to see her get some goals early on, sort of take some pressure off of her teammates to get the ball in the net.
And probably it's best to give some of your best players like Kelly and Sarah Woods the green light to just, hey, go get it.
Especially after a lopsided loss last time. I'm sure they're going to be coming out guns firing for the rest of this half.
In the scrum after the draw control, a foul on the Scots. Gives the Seahawks the ball, but now the refs will confer at midfield. They just adjust where Sarah Woods has to stand. Woods lobs for Tortorici. Tortorici sprinting in the offensive end at the arc, feeding in front for Moulton. Moulton shot saved by McGuire.
It was great positioning by Moulton there to get herself free down low next to the net. Great feed by Grace Kelly, just a little off on that shot, but a great idea to move it inside.
Lob for Gina Tortorici, picked off by the Scots.
Great athleticism there by Lindsey Condon for Gordon. Able to pick that pass off and create an offensive opportunity off the fast break.
Bailey Grinnell's lob pass too long, and it's picked off by the Seahawks. Now Gina Tortorici near the 40-yard line has her cross slapped at. And that'll be a foul against Gordon.
And Gordon's done a good job of moving the ball in transition. Just a few turnovers on these last few trips. Killing these drives.
Tortorici trying to find Moulton. Moulton has it, and then she gets bumped. Moulton sprinting into the offensive end, being pressured, so she'll move behind the net. Seahawks will hold there and try and set up the offense. Malinzak on the far side. Comes to the point to Mary Ashley Donnellan. Donnellan lobbing for Tortorici. Tortorici in front, and she scores, and it's 4-1.
Great goal by Salve. Again, the formula so far early on has been get one streaker running across the middle towards the latter part of the net. Quick little pass right in front of the net. Easy shot, easy conversion rate every single time.
And like we've said, the Seahawks aren't being, you could say they're being patient, but they're not waiting too long. They're not overthinking the offense. It's just one or two passes. We're not going to take 5 minutes to set up a play. We're just going to, boom, make a play.
And last game, we saw Bridgewater State do this exact same offensive scheme used against Salve effectively. So Great job by Coach Foster paying attention that last time, making the necessary tweaks to the game plan, and early on it made the difference.
21:38 to play in the first half, and it's 4-1 Seahawks. Draw control coming at midfield. Ball one straight back, so they'll redraw again.
Another success story on this 4-1 lead so far is the conversion rate by the Seahawks on the faceoffs. Much different story than last time out.
It's just purely by the eye test. It's looked much better.
And Salve's doing a great job to hustling to these ground balls on the loose opportunities from the faceoffs. A lot more intensity coming out this afternoon for Salve.
Ball in the air and taken by Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald sprinting strong down the right side will take up position behind the net. Lob back for Bloomberg. Bloomberg works to the point. Lennon moves back to the far side. Fitzgerald again holding behind the net.
Salve's doing a good job of positioning, keeping the ball in front of him, not allowing any inside cutters to the net. Gordon College has got a lot of players cutting to the net. Multiple cycles of 2 and 3 players running by the net, around behind, trying to get an open lane here. Salve's doing a great job in their zone defense.
Bloomberg holding behind the net, off to the side now. Moves back to Fitzgerald. Parallel with the crease. Fitzgerald trying to start a drive. She's double teamed and shut off. Ball loose on the ground, and then Fitzgerald scoops it back up. Lobs back to the corner. Caslin trying to start a drive. Lob in the middle, taken by Gina Tortorici.
Good job by Salve. Patient but hard-nosed physical defense, allowing the create the turnover, move the ball in the break.
Kelly finds Moulton. Moulton back to Grace Kelly. Grace Kelly gets bumped at the 30-yard line, and that will draw a foul.
It's a smart foul by Gordon there to stop the transition for Salve.
As I say, Seahawks had some speed going the other way. Lob to the far side, back to Grace Kelly. Kelly fakes the interior pass, and now comes to Sarah Woods. Woods back to Tortorici. Tortorici at the arc, spins, works her way to the right, now back to the left, and will lob back to the point. Abigail Tepper with it there. Tepper feeds behind the net, looking for a shot, spinning, reversing field, being shut off there is Carly Melanzak, so she moves back behind the net. Moulton back to Melanzak. Melanzak shut off, so they move back to the point. Sarah Woods moves to Gina Tortorici. Tortorici at the arc. Seahawks being a little more patient. Tortorici just fires and she scores! Tortorici buries it just inside the arc.
Great shot by Tortorici. Looked like she got a little antsy there, a little bored of passing the ball around the circle behind the net. Gordon looked ready for that shot. Just a great, fast flick of the wrist by Moulton there. Or Tortorici, rather.
Wrist shot from Tortorici scores, and it's 5-1, and we'll take a timeout. Draw control coming at midfield after the timeout taken by Gordon College. It's 5-1 Seahawks. 19:05 to play in the first half. And Leon, what has been different so far from the Seahawks?
Just the meter of intensity here right off the bat here. Even though Salve is allowing this offensive possession to get in the middle of the lane, Salve's been attacking early and often. Good defense leads to even better offense, Andrew. Control off the middle of the face-offs, doing a great job there. Salve's doing a good job of attacking the middle of the net on offense. One pass possessions, creating easy shots now for this lead.
Gordon College trying to get something going here out of the timeout. Jessica Castellan with a goal already in this game, holding just inside the arc. Defended well, so she moves back out to the point. Ball comes to the far corner here. Fitzgerald holding. Fitzgerald, it's a brush screen. Moves back to Castellan. Castellan fakes to the right, drives left, shut off well, double team, so she backs back out to the point.
Salve's doing a really good job of locking down on the player with the ball every time it gets into the offensive zone, especially the middle. Great job by Salve, double, triple teaming, forcing Gordon to push the ball back out and try something new.
Ball being held on the far side behind the net. Ball being held on the far side behind the net, and a whistle and a stoppage of play. And it looks like they called an offensive foul on Gordon. So a turnover in Seahawk ball. Gina Tortorici now sprinting at midfield, being bumped by Fitzgerald. Tortorici lobbing across to Malinzak. Malinzak back to Tortorici. Tortorici to Sarah Woods.
Looks like Tortorici and Grace Kelly are the two players at Salve. It's really, like you said, given the green light. Coach Foster wants Salve to take as many shots as they can here. Try and bolster this lead.
Abigail Tepper falls down and a pass trickles by her, but Kayla Sheehan goes to the far side and retrieves it for the Seahawks. Now Grace Kelly at the point. Spins, trying to work her way to the middle. Reverses field, trying to throw a little entry pass. Centering pass, no good. Loose on the ground. Still loose on front, and a shot wide. Looked like that was Sarah Woods. Somehow scooped that ball off the ground. Got shoved to the ground and managed to get a shot off, so she'll take up free position here. With 16:20 to play in the first, Sarah Woods with free position. Salve leading already 5-1.
That was a heck of an effort by Woods there to continue to follow through on her shot, even though she got bumped to the ground. It's a lot harder than it looks.
Bouncing shot from Woods goes wide left of the net. Still taken by Salve Regina behind the net. Moulton with it. Moulton starts her drive, now backs back out and lobs to Grace Kelly. Grace Kelly shovels it to Gina Tortorici. Tortorici feeds middle. Sarah Woods shooting, bouncing wide of the net, trickling towards the sideline, and Carly Melanzak will scoop it up there. Tortorici now at the arc. Looking to start her drive. She's shut off, so she backs back out and lobs for Sarah Woods.
You can see Salve's doing a good job of sending cutters across the middle here.
Woods shot saved by McGuire.
Those cutters across the middle will create for a lot more efficient shots here for the Seahawks.
Fitzgerald getting bumped at the 45. The Scots will stay in possession. Almost midway through this first half, and it's been all Salve Regina so far, 5-1 as we hit 15 minutes to play in the first half. Bloomberg lobs to Castellan in the corner. They lob back behind the net for Bailey Grinnell.
Salve's doing a good job on defense as well as dictating the tone here. Gordon continuing to trying to get the ball inside. Salve's doing a great job of keeping that ball on the perimeter.
Ball comes in front. Shot scored.
And of course, right as I said
Anna
that,
Bloomberg.
Salve was doing a great job keeping the ball in front of them. Just a second late. Salve got caught with their eyes on the ball instead of moving their feet. Results in an easy goal.
That's what we saw really plague Salve Regina last game. Was what you said, focusing too much on the ball and not watching the women, not watching the women behind you.
Again, Salve got caught sleeping a little bit on that transition game.
And it's 5-2, 14:26 to play in the first.
And there is no shot clock in women's lacrosse as well, so Salve has to do a good job. Coach Foster has to nail home the fact that they need to play strong defense for the entire possession. There's no shot clock to bail anybody out.
Draw control will be redone at midfield. So last time Gordon scored, Salve had a quick answer on a Grace Kelly unassisted shot. We'll see what happens here, and a foul on the Seahawks will give the Gordon the ball. Bailey Grinnell with it. Grinnell sprinting into the offensive end. Trying to feed middle. Shot to... Oh, my gosh. What an incredible... Anna Bloomberg picked that one out of the sky and buried it.
Anna Bloomberg did a great job using her height there, soaring over Salve's defender. Salve looked a little bit in shock there that she was able to get her stick up there and get that.
Just the control to be in the air and then still get a shot off.
Amazing display of athleticism here. Nothing you can do if you're Salve on that play. They had a good job of clogging up the middle. It's just a case of height.
So 2 quick goals for the Scots, and it's 5-3 with 14 minutes on the dot to play in the first half.
Salve has to find a way to stop the bleeding here, take some pressure off the defense as they continue to get beat on the face-off circle now.
Draw control taken by Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald moves back to the point. Lennon with it. Feeding a cutter middle, that's Bloomberg, and she drops the ball. It's loose in front of the crease and taken by the Seahawks. Kayla Sheenan with it. Lob to Grace Kelly, too far, trickling into the Gordon end, and it'll be taken there by the Scots. And then Grace Kelly draws a yellow card.
And that defensive effort by Kelly was just sort of like a throwaway. She knew she had her offender beat. She was trailing behind on the play. She still stuck the stick out there, trying to get the ball loose, and unfortunately picks up the penalty. Not a smart play there by Grace Kelly.
And one of the new rules they've instituted in lacrosse is the idea of the sphere around the head, and if your cross comes anywhere near a player's head, it's an automatic yellow card, and she will take a seat now. Seahawks will be down a player. Still leading 5-3, though, and in possession.
And we'll see how the team responds there, like you said, being down by a player here. Going to have to do a little better job passing the ball. Quick touches for everyone. Can't get caught holding the ball.
Sarah Woods gets tripped up and bumped near the 45. So it'll stay Seahawk ball. Woods lobs Regina Tortorici. Tortorici spinning away from contact, lobbing in front for Courtney Moulton. Courtney Moulton tries to shoot, and it's saved by McGuire and blocked wide and out of bounds.
Great opportunity by Salve there. The Gordon defender left Moulton to try and double-team the ball there. She was loose around the side. A little backdoor cut, just unable to make the shot.
So Seahawks on the offensive here despite being down the player.
Coach Foster's got to be proud of that effort there. Exactly. That they're able to control the ball in this offensive zone. So Grace Kelly can get back out there.
Abigail Tepper holding at the top of the arc. And an offensive foul called on Gina Tortorici. Not sure what the call was or what it could have been, but a foul on Tortorici gives the Scots the ball back. Stephanie Fitzgerald will sprint at midfield. Rather, that's MC Aston. Now lobbing to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald sprinting into the middle. Now backs back out on the perimeter. Lobbing in front. Lennon looking for a shot. Scores! Jessica Castleman, rather. And it's 5-4.
Lennon draw back there and fired that wrist shot. Looked like Josephine O'Reilly wasn't prepared for the shot. Looked like she really wasn't expecting it. Ran in with a good job, a little pump fake. Able to catch Salve off guard yet again. And again, it's right now in this little 3-0 goal stretch here by the Fighting Scots. The emerging trend, just like last game, Salve doing a little too much of watching the ball hawking. That middle of the field opened up again and allowing that goal.
So with that goal, it puts Grace Kelly back on the field, but now Salve's lead is down to 1. 5-4 with draw control coming at midfield. Ball loose on the ground and taken by Fitzgerald. And then two Seahawk players collide. Looks like Amanda Latchett will come and take a seat. Not sure what happened. Fitzgerald was charging into the offensive end. Two Seahawks hit the deck. And Amanda Latchett will have to take a seat here. So Seahawks going to be short-handed once again. Scott's holding the ball on the perimeter. As the winds continue to howl here at Gaudette Field. Lob in the middle. Shot hits the top of the crossbar and trickles behind the net. Scott still in possession.
That was a good job by Samantha Sithwick of Salve there to get her stick on the ball there and alter that shot.
Castleman finds Fitzgerald cutting. And we're tied at 5.
Like you just said, there's that middle inside cut. Salve allowing the backdoor cut. Middle of the zone. Open again. That's 3 straight goals now attacking the middle. Straight ahead on Josephine O'Reilly. Salve's got to make a necessary adjustment here. Get an extra body inside that zone.
And I keep confusing Fitzgerald and Bloomberg. That was Anna Bloomberg with the goal. The 8 and the 0 look very similar from the shallow angle we have here from the press box. But either way, the game is tied at 5 now. 4 straight goals for the Scots.
And that's Anna Bloomberg's 14th goal in the season, leading the Fighting Scots.
I was going to say, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm surprised here that Coach Foster didn't call a timeout. I wonder how much longer she'd let this go.
That's 4 unanswered goals now by the Fighting Scots.
Another yellow card is shown. And now Jacqueline Pilati is going to take a seat. So we got a card-happy ref today. Very rarely do you see the yellow card, especially off the scrum happening in the draw. You kind of usually let the players play a little bit. That's the second time we've seen a yellow card come out 2 seconds after draw control. So Seahawks short-handed again, and the game's tied at 5.
Unfortunate call for Salve there. But they've got to find a way to come together as a team here and stop this run by Gordon.
Fitzgerald charging into the offensive end, finds Castleman. Castleman trying to feed it in front. It's loose on the ground, trickling back, and Castleman has it on the far side. Castleman trying to charge middle, and a foul against Salve Regina. Now Jessica Castleman will take up free position. Jessica Castellan decides not to take the shot and back out. Seahawk player hits the deck on the far side, and they call the offensive foul as Mary Ashley Dowland getting knocked to the ground. So a turnover will give the Seahawks the ball, still short-handed, with 9 minutes and 46 seconds to go in the first half.
Gordon's really taking it to Salve Regina here right now. Finally, Salve gets a free opportunity here, try and take the ball on offense. Hopefully keep the ball down on their end of the zone, take some pressure off of O'Reilly and net.
And even if you don't score, maybe just sustain a little offense and kind of let things cool and settle down a bit.
So since that last goal, I mean, like I said, that 4-0 run, Salve hasn't had much of an opportunity to run some offensive sets and get back in the groove they had early on.
Gina Tortorici weaving her way at the 30-yard line and lobs to Grace Kelly at the 20. Kelly at the arc now, looking for a centering pass. Nothing there, so they work around the perimeter back to Gina Tortorici. Tortorici lobbing for Sarah Woods. Now Grace Kelly. Finds Sarah Woods. Sarah Woods trying to weave her way. Shooting, and it's saved by McGuire.
Tough shot by Woods there, shooting off balance on her left foot. Pretty surprised she got that shot on net. Just says a lot about her athletic ability.
Ali Tall takes it at the 40-yard line, being pressured by Tortorici, but Tall will continue at the 20 and work her way into the offensive end. Lob to the corner. Now back behind the net. Anna Bloomberg with it, holding at the arc. Pass comes to the middle, shot blocked away and saved by O'Reilly.
Great awareness by O'Reilly with the ball coming around her blind side. Good job shifting her feet, moving the stick in the necessary position to make that save.
Jane Dietrich was 5 feet away from the crease. O'Reilly stayed strong, though. Scott still in possession, holding behind the net. Scott's holding at the arc. Abby Ilian with it. 7:17 to play in the first. Pass comes to Bloomberg in the middle. Bloomberg cradling across the crease. Now lobbing back in the middle for Castelline. Castelline shoots and she scores.
Another great job of Castelline extending her stick up in the air above the crowd of Salve defenders. That's easy pickings for her.
And that's 5 straight goals now for the Fighting Scots.
Salve seems to be in a bit of trouble here. Like you said, that 5 straight goal now.
And they'll play on. No timeout from Coach Foster.
And Salve seeming to have trouble getting the ball out of their own zone here. They're playing some good defense, but eventually their sets are breaking down. Players are streaking open.
Well, they've also been down the man, too. So,
the past 5-6 minutes now, Salve's been down a player. So those missed opportunities now coming back to bite Salve, as now they're losing here.
Scores the Scots 6, Seahawks 5. 7:08 to play in the first. So basically, since midway through this period, Salve pretty much dominated the first 15 minutes, and now it's been nothing but the Scots for the past 8.
Yeah, real killer on the penalties there for Salve.
Loose ball taken at midfield by Olivia Bolivares. She lobs to the corner. Scott's very much in control here. Up by 1. 5 straight goals, 6-5. Scott's holding the ball to the right of the net on the near left side. Now Bloomberg holding just inside the arc, being defended by Moulton. Moves back to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald starts her drive, looks for the middle, shoots on the ground, and she scores!
That was a great
Six
shot.
straight goals.
Excuse me, that was a great shot there. A little pump fake to reveal where Josephine O'Reilly was leaning towards on that net. O'Reilly moved all the way to the left, sold herself on the left foot, able to shoot this ball on the right side. Great goal there. Salve really finding themselves in trouble now on the wrong side of a 6-0 run, rather.
They trail 7-5 with 6:09 to play in the first. And the problem right now is not, being down 2 goals isn't a big deal, but the fact that you've let up 6 straight and all the momentum right now is going the Scots' way. You got to find a way to stop the bleeding.
Yes, I was got to find a way to win a face-off here, get the ball over to Malinzak and Grace Kelly, create some offensive opportunities. Seahawks badly need a goal.
A face-off won by the Seahawks. Sarah Woods has it. And she gets bumped and fouled at the 30-yard line. Woods will charge in the offensive end. Lob to the far side. Abigail Tepper with it. Tepper trying to weave her way. She gets bumped. They move to Grace Kelly at the point. Grace Kelly trying to charge the middle. She's shut off, so she reverses field. Grace Kelly still trying to work her way. Grace Kelly in the middle. Loses the ball. It's loose on the ground and taken by the Scots. Grace Kelly got right in on McGuire but lost the ball. And then a collision at the 15-yard line. See what we have here. Another yellow card. We'll see who's going to the bench. And it'll be Sarah Woods. Sarah Woods will have to take a seat now. So the Seahawks will be shorthanded once again.
So it continues to find themselves on the wrong end of these penalty calls here. The Seahawks cannot catch a break.
5.5 minutes to play in the first. Seahawks trailing 7-5.
Excuse me. I'm wondering if there's a little frustration on the end of the Seahawks here. Maybe that's why there's been so many personal foul calls here in the past few minutes. A 7-0 run has a pretty big effect on your psyche.
No one in goal right now. McGuire all the way out near the 20-yard line. Loose ball taken by the Scots. That was a very interesting play.
Somebody could have taken advantage right there and knocked that ball loose and had an easy shot on a wide-open net. Gordon, great job of recovering possession, however.
Ball controlled on the far side by the Scots. And, with the, like you said, the yellow cards and the frustration, it seemed like that was just a player collision and maybe you call a foul and just, keep the ball going the Scots' way. Any kind of incidental contact, I'm no rules expert, but I would say, you let them play on. That the yellow card should be reserved for, blatant, fouls that are, have the intent or possibility to do serious harm.
Yeah, I mean, this is college lacrosse after all. So, I mean, I think the NCAA is more about player development and just having fun more than these Nick Pitty, reach your hands in the pocket call every 5 minutes here. That's how the refs are calling it today.
Very tight game, and that's why I'm surprised that Coach Foster hasn't called a timeout, maybe just to kind of regroup her players. 4:12 to play in the first. Seahawks trailing 7-5, shorthanded here, playing on defense. And a steal by Mary Ashley Donnellan.
Great reactions by Donnellan there to stick up and grab that.
Amanda Provax with it, lobs back for Donnellan. Donnellan. Lob to the far side to Kayla Sheenan. Sheenan finds Jacqueline Pilati at the 50-yard line. Pilati will cradle and work her way into the offensive end. Pilati lobs to Grace Kelly on the far side. Seahawks desperately trying to stem the tide here. Lob pass comes to the middle for Mealy. Miley shots and she scores! Catherine Mealy scores!
Great spin by Mealy there. Threw off Gordon's goalie. Easy goal. Great transition offense by the Seahawks. A series of one-touch passes downfield, resulting in the goal.
And that is just what the doctor ordered for the Seahawks. 7-6 with 3:20 to play and draw control coming at midfield.
Salve Regina desperately needs to continue to build this momentum as we reach the end of the half here.
And getting a goal that just must kind of let out some of that frustration that's been plaguing the Seahawks here for the past, 14 minutes. And they are right back in this game, 7-6. Seahawks trail by 1 with 3 minutes and 20 seconds to play in the first half. Ball controlled by Fitzgerald, and Fitzgerald will cradle into the offensive end. Fitzgerald sprinting all the way to the middle, looking for cutters, back out near the arc.
I thought Fitzgerald was going to look for her own shot right there. She's done a great job of sprinting into the middle of Salve's zone multiple times here. She's got her shot if she wants it.
Bloomberg fakes a shot, works her way in the middle, shoots, and she scores! Anna Bloomberg scores once again.
Just unforgivable there on Salve's end. Right after they finally put a goal on the board to stop that run, they allow Gordon to march right back down the field, allow Fitzgerald to make some good position in the middle, and giving up another goal here.
And Bloomberg, she started a drive, was initially shut off, and then it seemed like as soon as she took one step back, Seahawk defense let up just a bit, and then she started a drive right again. Kind of a hesitation move. Worked her way right in front, and there's almost nothing you can do once you get a player 2 feet from the net.
And the Seahawks got caught over pursuing on that possession, rather. They got caught in the double team, found a wide open teammate, and Gordon was able to put that one in.
2:47 to play here in the first. Seahawks trailing 8-6, and Bloomberg wins the draw control. The Scots will be right back on the attack. Stephanie Fitzgerald.
The Seahawks can't let Fitzgerald just march into the zone like that and get in her comfort zone.
Fitzgerald lobbing back out to Castleton. Castleton holding at the point. Now Rourke on the far side. Lobbing. Bad steal attempt. Seahawk defense comes from the weak side to shut off the drive, while being held by Bloomberg here. Now moved back behind the net. Ilian with it, holding behind the net. Moves to Dietrich. Dietrich makes a fake, gets hit in the face. And no card there, just a cross-check called. And now free position coming for Jane Dietrich. Jane Dietrich lobs back behind the net for Bloomberg. Bloomberg trying to lob in front. O'Reilly blocks it away, and but it then re-lobbed back behind the net and taken by the Seahawks. Josephine O'Reilly has it now and will look to clear.
Good job by O'Reilly. Great defensive stand there. Got her stick out early and often, interrupting those passes in front of the net. Was able to make a good save and clear the zone for the Seahawks.
Sarah Woods at midfield, lobs to the far side. Sprinting into the offensive end is Mary Ashley Donald. Donald will stop. Find Carly Malinzak. Return to Sarah Woods. Sarah Woods trying to drive on Bloomberg. Passes back out to Donellan on the perimeter. Donellan return to Woods. Woods lobs behind the net. Moulton holding there. She drives, now kicks back out to Tortorici. Tortorici fakes, now starts her drive, working away the middle. Tries to shoot and has it lost on the ground and taken by the Scots.
Good scrap in the middle there. Both teams fighting for possession. Salve really would have liked to get a goal while they're down here on this end of the field.
50 seconds to play in the first half. Scots leading the Seahawks by 2, 8-6. Kristen Fitzgerald now on the far side of the field, lobbing up ahead, trickling near the sideline, and taken by Rourke. Anna Rourke returned to Bloomberg. Bloomberg back to Olivia Bolivares. Now Jessica Castleton. Return to Rourke. Now Grinnell. Holding, lobs back out to the far side. Dietrich starts a drive. Gets triple teamed, backs back out. Kicks to Grinnell. Grinnell driving, shooting, and saved by O'Reilly.
What a save to snatch that ball right out of the net. Salve again gets caught, triple teaming, but great job by O'Reilly. Great save to end the half here.
And saved by the bell are the Seahawks. It's 8-6 as we hit halftime. Seahawks trailing by 2. We'll see what the second half has in store. So players return to the field. Winds continue to howl at Gaudette Field. An opening draw taken by Gina Tortorici. See if the Seahawks come out with a flow here. Grace Kelly fed on the right side, spinning away from contact, working away in the middle. Shot saved by McGuire, but a whistle.
Heck of a spin move by Grace Kelly. She took her momentum all the way from midfield, finally ending in front of the net, just unable to put together that last shot.
And Grace Kelly will take up free position 16 seconds into this half. Grace Kelly charging, shooting just wide across the crease behind the net, but taken by Melanzak. Sarah Woods.
Salve attacking right off the bat here. We barely got back in our seats, and Salve has 3 shots on goal to start the half.
Abigail Tepper trying to charge middle, looking for a shot, and she scores. Abigail Tepper. She had Jacqueline Pilati in front of her like an escort, clearing the way, and Abigail Tepper buries it, and this is a 1-point game once again.
And Mercer, Gordon had a terrible job there identifying who had the ball. It seemed like they were a second late, a step late, not shifting over to protect their goalie there. Great goal by Salve. I'm sure the game plan coming out of the half was to attack the net, get this deficit down, and take back the lead that they had for the majority of the first half.
And that was an interesting little play. Jacqueline Pilati acting like a fullback would in football. Paving the way, clearing space, and Abigail Tepper able to bury it behind McGuire. Draw control coming at midfield. They will redraw at midfield. 29-21 on the clock here for the second half. Seahawks trailing by 1. Ball won back. Loose on the ground. Players scrambling for it. Eventually won by Kimberly Provax on the far side of the field. She finds Grace Kelly. Now Grace Kelly will trot into the offensive end. Comes to Carly Melanzak. Melanzak returned to Tortorici. Tortorici still holding at the point. Stutter step now, working away to the middle, trying to spin, fakes a shot, and moves back out. Finds Carly Melanzak. Melanzak can't control. It's loose on the ground. Taken by the Scots, but another foul called on Gordon. And looks like it'll give Sarah Woods free position.
You can see Salve here early on sending multiple cutters through the middle of the zone here, trying to get an open shot on goal. Instead of sort of taking an isolation player here that is going to be setting each other up with nice passes, hopefully convert them to the back of the net.
Sarah Woods a free position, works her way in, shoots, saved by McGuire, loose in front and taken behind the net by Moulton. Moulton trying to feed Melanzak. Melanzak with the shot. That's blocked away again by McGuire, loose in the ground and taken by the Scots. 2 great opportunities for the Seahawks, but great goaltending by Danielle McGuire.
Great concentration by McGuire there to stop that shot by Melanzak. Really looked like Carly had the advantage there on that wrist shot.
Bloomberg trying to find Brennell. It's loose and back and taken by Abigail Tepper. So a turnover here on the Scots. Now Gina Tortorici at midfield. She can't control it. She regains control. Now they find Erin Gerard. Gerard at the 30. Now at the 20. Charging down the right-hand side of the field. Now turns the Jets on. Stops. Moves back to Grace Kelly. Now Gina Tortorici at the top of the arc. Trying to feed Grace Kelly right on the far side of the net, but deflected and taken by the Scots. And then Gina Tortorici bumps Lindsay Congdon, and that'll be a foul. 1-goal game, 8-7, early part of the second half. Congdon spins away from contact and will sprint into the offensive end. Lob for Fitzgerald.
Salve can't let Fitzgerald create some space. They gotta keep a body on her at all times. She's too lethal to have a pillow.
Grinnell spinning away from contact, works away to the front. Shot saved by O'Reilly. Loose in front. taken by Grace Kelly. Grace Kelly trying to pick it off the ground, and a foul going against the Scots will give the Seahawks the ball.
Salve's had a lot more opportunities this half as a result of, dead balls or winning face-offs or creating turnovers. But they seem to be awake this second half, ready to try and tie this game up here. Salve's looking to try and push the ball in transition right now.
Kayla Sheenan lobs for Sarah Woods. Sarah Woods sprinting into the offensive end. Take a position here on the near left side. Just outside the arc. Lobs for Abigail Tepper. Tepper back to Melanzak behind the net. Melanzak to Moulton. Moulton holding on the far left-hand side behind the net. Now Melanzak once again. Drive in. She's double-teamed and blocked away, so ball comes to Sarah Woods. Now moved back to Gina Tortorici at the point. Tortorici trying to weave her way. Just shooting, and she scores! Another wrist shot from Gina Tortorici scores, and we're tied at 8.
Tortorici sort of sidearmed that bullet into the side of the net. Great shot, shooting around the defenders. Gordon's goalie had no chance of keeping up with that ball. The middle of the field was completely congested, so she had no idea where that ball was coming from.
It's the second time we've seen that quick release from Gina Tortorici, and we're tied at 8 with 25:41 to play in the second.
And Salve Regina couldn't have asked for a better start to this half here to get things evened up. It's a brand new ball game with 25 to go.
Draw control coming at midfield. And you're right, Leon. The Seahawks team we've seen now for the past 4.5 minutes is vastly different from the one we saw pretty much for the later half of the first half.
And it's the penalties, Andrew. Definitely Salve playing not as much conservative, but I think more smart now.
And it started, as we said, for pretty much almost 2 games now. It starts right here at draw control and getting possession.
And Tortorici's usually done a great job off the break here for Salve. Couldn't grab that one, but she's been a strong force on the face-off for the Seahawks.
Stephanie Fitzgerald loses the ball, so it stops what would have been a fast break opportunity for the Scots, but they'll set up their offense. Fitzgerald holding just inside at the arc at the top. Lobs to Dietrich on the far side. Dietrich will work her way behind the net. Scott's holding the ball behind the net. Trying to find cutters. Seahawks playing strong defense here. Dietrich holding behind the net. Now moves a little off to the side, now in the corner. Being guarded by Gina Tortorici. Lob back out for Castellan. Castellan. And an offensive foul called on the Scots.
Good job by Salve creating that frustration on the Gordon end. Salve Regina keeping their attackers in front of them, not allowing any cuts towards the middle of the field.
Sarah Woods cradling, being pressured by Fitzgerald. Out near the 35-yard line, lobs back for Gina Tortorici. Tortorici will sprint all by herself up the far side of the field. Lob into the offensive end. Erin Gerard on the run, shoots and she scores! Erin Gerard gives the Seahawks the lead.
Great transition offense again by Salve. Pass to Tortorici. Carly Melanzag running down the sideline. Great feed in towards the middle for the goal. You can almost see the communication. You could see both ladies' eyes interlocking as they were running down the field there. They both knew it was a 2-on-1 opportunity. Great communication to feed each other.
So 3 straight goals for the Seahawks, and they take the lead, 9-8, with 24:07 to play in the second. Draw control coming at midfield. Ball loose on the ground, being fought for, and a whistle. A foul going against Salve Regina, so it'll be Gordon ball.
Sarah Woods took a mean hit around the jaw area on that play. Good effort by her to get right back up and get prepared for this face-off.
And a Bloomberg with it, cradling into the offensive end, being pressured by Gerard. Bloomberg trying to lob in front. Moulton blocks it away, but Fitzgerald scoops it up and works behind the net. Castleton returned to Bloomberg. Bloomberg cradling, trying to work her way to the middle. And another offensive foul on the Scots.
Now we can see the frustration on the sideline for Gordon here. Just quite the opposite in the first half for Salve. We could see these stoppages in play, these penalties, these hard-hitting calls here really could be game changers for both sides as they allow a lot more opportunities to get the ball open on the break.
And Gerard takes it all alone herself into the offensive end and will trot behind the net and move to Grace Kelly. Grace Kelly to Abigail Tepper. Tepper moves to Gina Tortorici. Tortorici returned to Grace Kelly. Kelly holding. Trying to spin away from contact and work her way middle. She's shut off there. Trying to lob in the middle, and that's deflected right back, but she takes it. Moves to Sarah Woods. Sarah Woods hands off to Gina Tortorici, and Tortorici will hold at the point. Seahawks, 3 straight goals, up 9-8 on the attack here. Lobbing for Sarah Woods. Sarah Woods gets bumped into, and a foul is called on Gordon. And that should be free position for Sarah Woods.
And it honestly looked like Sarah Woods initiated the contact there, but luckily she was in deep in the zone there of Gordon's defense, so she's allowed the free opportunity here.
So straight ahead free position coming for Sarah Woods. Sarah Woods charging, shooting, saved by McGuire. Loose in front, taken, shot, scored!
Great job by Carly Mellenczak there to pick up that rebound. She found that no one was paying attention to the no one by Gordon there picking up the ball. Great goal by Mellenczak.
Carly Mellenczak scores off the scrum, and it's 10-8 Seahawks. 22 minutes exactly to play in the second half.
Great awareness there by number 2 to keep her eyes on the ball and not give up on that possession, even though she didn't have the best angle to the net.
And that was initially a great stick save by McGuire on the Woods shot. But like you said, no Gordon player in position to get the loose ball. Mellenczak scoops it up. Shot up high, down low. Now 4 straight goals for the Seahawks gives them the 2-point advantage. Draw control at midfield taken by MC Aston.
2 Salve players ran into each other there, hit the ground. Gordon had an opportunity on the break, but now they're slowing things down.
And you wonder if on some of these wrist shots, like we've seen by Tortorici, how the wind has affected those. It is a very, very windy day here at Gaudette Field. Grinnell holding at the point for the Scots. She starts her drive, tries to work her way middle, cradling, no shot, so she moves to Stephanie Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald moves to the far side of the net. Now into the corner. Stephanie Fitzgerald holding. Moves to Grinnell. Grinnell double team, so she backs away at the point.
Great job by Salve's defense here, keeping the ball in front of them, not allowing any cuts towards the middle, making sure the ball stays in the perimeter where they can't get hurt.
Now Castleton holding behind the net. Castleton lobbing in front for Bloomberg, and she scores!
Like I said, it's the middle of the field that does the most damage against the Seahawks. Salve was doing a great job keeping the ball in the perimeter. There was a crack in their defense. Gordon with a nice feed inside to find a streaking player. Great goal.
My mistake that... Yep, my mistake again. That's Stephanie Fitzgerald. I've been confusing them all game long. Can't see on the angle, but Stephanie Fitzgerald scores. And it's 10-9, and They just lost track of Fitzgerald there. She was wide open in the middle, which has been the weak spot of the Salve Regina defense lately.
Yeah, and she's too dynamic of a playmaker there to give her that kind of space inside. You got to keep a body on her, get her physical, not allow her to get her shot going.
So a 1-point game. Seahawks leading 10-9 with 20 minutes and 24 seconds to play in the second half. Sarah Woods can't control the opening draw. And a foul against Gordon on Anna Bloomberg will give Salve Regina the ball. Sarah Woods holding at midfield.
And it looked like that call could have went either way. Andrew, both players equally giving in the strong physical effort to get that face-off.
Sarah Woods moves to Grace Kelly. Grace Kelly returned to Gina Tortorici. Tortorici holding, trying to find Carly Melanzak. Melanzak in the middle gets bumped. No foul is called, and she loses the ball, and Gordon takes it. McGuire way out of the net, being double-teamed, and a foul is called on Salve Regina. Danielle McGuire, a good 15 yards out of her crease, lobs to the far side of the field.
That's amazing stick work by her there to be able to take on two Salve defenders and still hold on to the ball.
Stephanie Fitzgerald, rather MC Aston, lobs for Rebecca Smith. Smith with her first touch of the game in the offensive end moves behind the net. Grinnell holding there. Move to Bloomberg. Bloomberg trying to lob for Fitzgerald, and she scores!
Josephine O'Reilly got caught lunging out to try and intercept that pass. She left the whole back left side of the net wide open.
Fitzgerald using all of her 5'10 frame to sky in the air and get that pass and throw it behind O'Reilly. And we're tied at 10.
This Fitzgerald play is very special. Her dynamic playmaking ability really stood out to me today. I mean, she can get the ball in a crowd or make her own space, and that shot is lethal.
So we start over again with 18 minutes and 46 seconds to play in the second half. Leon, this really has been a game of runs. Salve went on theirs early, then Gordon went on a run, then Salve fought back to take a 2-goal lead, and now 2 straight goals from the Scots, and we're tied at 10.
Yeah, Andrew, it seems like both these teams are unwilling to give the other position here. Both these teams really want it, and I can tell this game's going to be pretty much whoever gets the last possession here has the best chance to win.
Abby Ilian lobs to Grinnell. Grinnell, stutter steps to her right, trying to work her way middle. She's shut off well, so she backs back out. Rebecca Smith holding back behind the net. Smith looking for that interior pass. Seahawks doing a good job right now of shutting it off. Smith being pressured on the far side. Ball loose on the ground, but she scoops it back up and returns to the point. Linen was with it. Return to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald holding at the point. Allows back for Castellan. Castellan shot deflected by O'Reilly.
What a save by O'Reilly. Great anticipation. She followed the path of the ball, anticipated that pass, and was already in position before that shot was even fired.
Scott still in possession, though. Grinnell holding behind the net. Being guarded closely by Kayla Sheehan. Return to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald still holding at the point. Turn to Jessica Castellan.
Great job by Salve double teaming Castellan. She tried to make a push in towards the middle. Double team, blocked the middle of the zone. That's the key to success for the Salve defense. Do not let Gordon attack the middle of the field.
Grinnell holding. Trying to work on Moulton. The hand back off. Driving and double teamed was Castellan. And a foul called on Salve Regina. And free position coming now for Jessica Castellan. Castellan straight away, 12 yards away from the net. Castellan drives, shoots, deflected, blocked back by O'Reilly. Scott's still in possession though, and they will hold behind the net. Rebecca Smith. La pass comes to the middle. Loose on the ground. Players still fighting for it. Scrum in the middle. Players still fighting for it. Stephanie Fitzpatrick fighting for it. No one in possession yet of the ball. And finally, Kelly Lyon comes and takes it away. Grinnell holding at the point. A very long sustained attack here for Gordon. Bloomberg double teamed and pushed out of the middle. And they find Fitzgerald at the top of the key.
See if this duration, the long duration of this offensive attack here has an effect on the weaker legs of Salve.
Fitzgerald finds Castellan in the middle. Saved by O'Reilly.
Josie O'Reilly with 2 great saves in a row. Great reaction times in order to get in front of those shots.
As we approach 15 minutes to play in the second half, we're knotted at 10. A steal. Bloomberg working on O'Reilly. Saved by O'Reilly.
Great job by O'Reilly there to redeem herself after that lazy pass towards the middle.
O'Reilly gave it away to Bloomberg. Bloomberg charged all the way in. As you said, a great save by O'Reilly. But still another possession here for the Scots.
Yeah, and I don't know why the Gordon player held on to that ball so much. He's in quick isolation.
And it looks like a timeout has been called. We'll take it. 14:46 to play in the second half. So out of the timeout, the wind's picking up even more here on the field. Scots in possession. It is very windy here. Ball moved behind the net. Lobbing for Bloomberg. She can't control it. It's loose on the ground. Grace Kelly in a fight for it. And the Scots take possession again.
That was almost a tip-in shot. Involuntarily by number 20 there for Gordon. Almost tipped that ball right into the goal.
Bloomberg trying to control a centering pass. Can't. It skips wide to the corner, but taken there by Lennon. Ball being held on the far side. Now Bloomberg with it. Lobbing for Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald catches in the middle, and she'll back out. Fitzgerald not bothered by the cold and the wind. Fitzgerald working away in the middle. Shot, scores! Stephanie Fitzgerald scores.
Fitzgerald continues to be a lethal shot from the middle there. Salve just letting Gordon's star player get that kind of space. It's going to result in a goal every time, Andrew.
And we talked about the wind picking up. Fitzgerald during that timeout took off her sleeves.
A little more trajectory, I guess. Left clothing, more gliding.
And it's 11-10. Scots with the lead. 13:47 to play in the second half. Draw control coming at midfield. Ball one back, loose on the ground. Gina Tortorici in a fight for it, and she controls. Salve could have numbers if they hurry. Grace Kelly on the right side. Works away to the middle. Shooting, saved by McGuire. But another whistle, and this may result in free position for Grace Kelly, and it will.
That was a great move by Grace Kelly. A little shake and bake to cut inside. But it seems like she ran a little too hard, almost undershot that ball.
Grace Kelly works away to the middle. Shot, and she scores! Grace Kelly ties the game.
See, equal footing now, strong setting for Grace Kelly. She's able to set herself, drive off her pivot foot, make a very strong shot. That one finds it back in the net.
We start again at 11. Game tied with 13:29 to play in the second half. Draw control coming at midfield. Game tied at 11. Just over midway through this second half.
Like I said, Andrew, whoever gets the ball last most likely is going to take home this game. Whenever one team decides to get some momentum, the other just makes a great play to bring it right back.
Now Stephanie Fitzgerald trying to answer once again. Fitzgerald bumped and knocked to the ground.
I mean, she's just a one-man force out there right now, Andrew, single-handedly asserting her will to cut towards the middle.
Fitzgerald will take up free position. Fitzgerald fakes the shot, now backs back out at the point.
Smart play by Fitzgerald there to take a step back and set things up for her team, give them a better opportunity to convert.
Fitzgerald lobs for Bloomberg. Bloomberg, a couple feet inside the arc, trying to work on Moulton. Bloomberg spins to the middle, shoots, and she scores! Anna Bloomberg buries it. And the Scots retake the lead.
What a job by Bloomberg there to spin off the defender to her weak side on the left. Fire that shot in the top left corner there. No chance for O'Reilly in net.
12:50 to play in the second half, and the Scots take the lead 12-11. We'll see if the Seahawks can answer here. Back and forth we go.
Just the pace, the frenetic pace in this game is unbelievable. The second half has really turned up the notch of intensity here. Neither of these teams are wanting to give an inch. Much more inspired effort by the Seahawks here rather than what we saw last time out, Andrew. Much more exciting game to call here. A lot more heart involved this afternoon.
Ball loose on the ground at midfield. Anna Bloomberg in a fight for it with Sarah Woods, and Grace Kelly finally takes it away at the 35-yard line. Grace Kelly cradling at the arc. Returns to Carly Melanzak. Melanzak finds Jacqueline Pilati. Pilati moves to Sarah Woods. Return to Grace Kelly. Grace Kelly moves to Gina Tortorici. Tortorici trying to find Grace Kelly. Grace Kelly in front, shoots, and it goes off the post.
Great move by Grace Kelly there. Put a little shake on her defender. She had the right corner of the net, just reached back, barely missed that shot.
And then a yellow card given to Gina Tortorici.
This was the beginning of the downfall for Salve last half here. Once those yellow cards started coming out, goals started quickly accumulating for Gordon.
So the Seahawks will be short a player here. Referee's trying to confirm the time on the clock. And the ref comes over to the scores table. And really, like you said, Leon, the yellow cards and being, having to play short was what was the problem for the Seahawks in the first half. We'll see if they can respond here with a strong defensive effort.
Yeah, Andrew, they got to be very smart here. Can't let Fitzgerald for Gordon make any more plays towards the middle of the field here.
And really, what a swing. Grace Kelly right in front, dings one off the post.
Had their chance to tie it up, excuse me.
Go from being, tying this game and now down a player. Fitzgerald lobs for Grinnell. Grinnell will reverse field and hold things at the point. Move to the far side. Bloomberg in front, taken by Fitzgerald at the point. Stephanie Fitzgerald. Cradling. Moves back to Grinnell. Grinnell holding on the far side of the field. Being pressured by Mary Ashley Donnellan. Pass comes to Bloomberg on the far side. Now Bloomberg trots more towards the middle of the field and will hold there. Pass comes to Fitzpatrick. She scoops it out of the air. Works her way to the middle. Has her cross slapped at. Ball loose on the ground. Grace Kelly fighting for it, but it's taken once again by the Scots. Rourke has it.
Salve doing a great job, though, battling on this possession here. Really playing corner, tight down defense right now.
Especially being a man short. Bloomberg holding at the point.
Great help defense by the Seahawks here.
Linen charging. Return to Bloomberg. Bloomberg all the way in the middle. Ball loose on the ground. Players fighting for it, and it's controlled once again by the Scots. And a foul on Salve Regina.
You can see the goalie, Josephine O'Reilly, willing her teammates to continue this unified effort right here to keep the ball out of the net, down by 1 with 10 minutes left.
Fitzgerald lobs behind the net, shot, score! Difficult angle.
Again, I guess the imploring by O'Reilly didn't work right there as the team in the middle collapsed again for Salve. Nothing they can do. And that was a great pass and an even better shot by Gordon.
Abby Illian scores from the shallow right side. And it's a 2-goal lead for the Scots, 13-11. Under 10 minutes to play in the second half.
And Salve might start to lose a grip on this game here. Down by 2. These goals have been back and forth, but now that Gordon has 2 in a row here, we'll see if Salve can try and grab some momentum back.
A little bit of insurance for the Scots. Still plenty of time left in this game, but you're right, the Seahawks don't want to let this one start to slip away. Draw control taken by Stephanie Fitzgerald, and the Scots right back on the attack.
They cannot let Fitzgerald continue to grab possession in these faceoffs here. She's obviously the star player for Gordon, the one who runs the offense, gets the directions from the coach on the sideline. They got to do a good job of disrupting her game here if they have any chance of coming back.
Fitzgerald moves to Jessica Castellan. Castellan moves back to Bloomberg at the point. Return to Castellan. Castellan fakes an interior shot. Loses the ball, loose on the ground. Foul on Salve Regina. Still Scott's ball. Jessica Castellan with it. She'll take up a free position. About 2 feet inside the outer arc. Fakes middle, now drives to her left. Cradling and returns to Stephanie Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald lobbing middle for Castellan. Castellan shoots and scores. 14-11 now, lead for the Scots.
Great passing by Gordon there. Very unselfish play. She had an open shot, instead passes it over to her teammate for an even better goal.
And a timeout by Jennifer Foster. She can feel this game maybe starting to slip away. We'll take it. 8:36 to play in the second half. Players return to the field out of the Salve Regina timeout. 8:36 to play in the second half. Scots with a 3-goal lead, 14-11, and it's go time right now if you're the Seahawks. You got to make something happen.
Yeah, the Seahawks got to come out with a sense of urgency here, create a turnover, win a face-off, try to get a goal on early on. Gordon's trying to extend this lead here. Salve's got to get it right back on the board. They need a goal now.
And right off the bat, they lose the opening draw. Ball loose on the ground, though, taken by Gina Tortorici, but she's called for a foul.
There's that turnover I was talking about. Great job by Tortorici there to create that loose ball. Unfortunately, referee disagrees on the call.
Abby Ilian lobs to Dietrich. Now moved behind the net to Castellan. Rourke on the far side returns to Stephanie Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald, who has been the star here today for the Scots. Bloomberg returned to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald returned to Bloomberg. Bloomberg and Fitzgerald playing a little two-person game. Lob for Castellan. Castellan holding the top of the arc. Return to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald cradling. Now will work her way to the corner. Will hold there. Return to Bloomberg. Bloomberg back to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald holding in the corner. Scott's content to run a little clock. Just work this ball on the perimeter.
Yeah, trying to find a little soft opening in Salve's defense here, but Salve really has to create a turnover here.
Yeah, Scott's,
push the ball in transition.
if they're smart, aren't going to take any unnecessary risks or quick shots. Seahawks are going to have to limit one-shot opportunities here or get aggressive. And just on cue, the Scots turn it over out of bounds behind the net. Bloomberg wasn't ready for that return pass, and it scoots out of bounds, so Josephine O'Reilly will go back to retrieve it. She will hold the ball in her own crease and look for an outlet. Comes here to Kayla Sheehan.
Good job by Salve to start pushing the ball, get it out of their zone pretty much with ease, looking to push the ball on the break.
Sheehan finds Grace Kelly. Grace Kelly double team, so she moves to Sarah Woods. Woods loses it. It's loose on the ground. Players still fighting for it, and it's taken by Erin Gerard. Erin Gerard now sprinting up the left side of the field. Being guarded closely by Bloomberg. Gerard drops the ball. She scoops it back up. Moves to Gina Tortorici. Tortorici gets the signal from Coach Foster. We hit 6 minutes to play in the second half. Salve trailing by 3, 14-11. Gina Tortorici holding at the point. Tortorici trying to make a move, loses the ball. It's loose on the ground. Grace Kelly on the spot, though, picks it up, charges middle, shoots, and she scores!
Great offensive mindset.
Saving grace for the Seahawks.
Didn't mean to take away from your call there, Andrew. Great offensive mindset by her to pick up that loose ball, fire, not really wanting to set up an offensive game plan, rather just take a sniper, really, to put that goal in the net.
Trickled low, down by the ankles of McGuire, and it's 14-12. 5 minutes and 41 seconds to play. Seahawks still very much in this game. And if they have a chance to either tie this game and force overtime or win it in regulation, like we said, the Seahawks are going to have to force turnovers or win here, at the draw.
Yeah, hopefully Salve is really banking on that being a turnaround play here with 5 minutes left to go.
Because that took about 3 minutes for them to get a stop, get the ball and score. Ball loose on the ground. Gina Tortorici fighting for it with Dietrich. Ball still loose on the ground, and Sarah Woods takes it, and then Sarah Woods gets bumped and knocked to the ground. So Seahawks in possession, trailing by 2 with 5:23 to play in the second half.
And you could hear the Salve crowd here really imploring their Seahawks to move on.
Carly Melanzak holds on the left-hand side. Ball moved behind the net to Moulton. Courtney Moulton returned to Carly Melanzak. Melanzak being guarded by Fitzgerald. Melanzak backs back out and now finds Sarah Woods. Sarah Woods moves to Gina Tortorici at the point. Tortorici makes her move, stutter steps, now backs back out. Trying to feed it middle to Jacqueline Pilati. It's just wide. Carly Melanzak, though, will go to retrieve it back behind the net. Return to Sarah Woods.
Melanzak's been a very reliable option for Salve down in the corner. She slowed things down, sets Salve's offense up, and passes the ball where it needs to be.
Courtney Moulton in the corner, now back behind the net. .4:17 to play in the second half. Seahawks trailing by 2. Moulton finds Grace Kelly. Grace Kelly trying to make her move. Instead goes to Gina Tortorici at the point. Tortorici looking, trying to feed in the middle to Sarah Woods. Sarah Woods shoots, and it's saved by McGuire.
Nice sniping shot by Woods there. Just an even better, unbelievable save by Gordon.
Outlet pass trickling towards the sideline. Bloomberg tries to save it. Looked like Bloomberg was in possession and when she was out of bounds, but they must have called a foul on Salve Regina on the far side, so Bloomberg will hold at the 20-yard line and now lob out near midfield. Ball loose on the ground. Players fighting for it, and it's taken by Kimberly Provax, and then she gets fouled. Sarah Woods now at the 30-yard line. Finds Jacqueline Pilati. Pilati now moves into the offensive end. Gina Tortorici will hold at the point. 3:15 to play in the second half. Tortorici trying to feed it to the middle to Moulton. Ball loose on the ground. And a foul going against Salve Regina will give the Scots the ball. 3 minutes to play in the second half.
That's got to be a disappointing result of that possession, Andrew. The good job by Salve moving the ball patiently. Unfortunately, it ends with a turnover.
Fitzgerald lobs to Caslin on the far side. Caslin holding out near the 20-yard line. Being pressured there. Salve trying to extend their defense and get some turnovers. Burnell slips Grace Kelly, works away to the middle. Now we'll back out. Return to Kristen Fitzgerald. Kristen Fitzgerald loses it. It goes out of bounds, so the Seahawks will gain possession. 2:19 to play in the second half. Seahawks trailing by 2.
Salve needs to push the ball out of their zone right here really quick, Andrew. Good transition. One-touch passes. Can't afford to turn the ball over here. This could be it.
Ball deflected, loose on the ground in front, but Gina Tortorici takes it, and Tortorici will sprint at the 30-yard line, trying to evade contact, lobs to Sarah Woods. Sarah Woods at the 45, now the 40, 35-30, 25-20, the 15, working away at the arc, backing back out. Return to Gina Tortorici.
Good idea there to set up the offense. Every possession matters.
Tortorici lobs to Grace Kelly. Grace Kelly evading contact, spinning, triple teamed. Now she moves back to Gina Tortorici. Tortorici trying to find space, shoots, saved by McGuire. Loose in front, and it's picked up by the Scots. Still loose on the ground now. Almost taken by Sarah Woods. It's still loose on the ground. Kylie Melanzak fighting for it, and a foul is called.
Both players here both teams leaving it all on the field in these last 2 minutes.
Not see what the situation's going to be. Looks like it's going to be a free position coming for Carly Melanzak. 1:27 to play in the second half. Seahawks trailing by 2. Free position coming for Carly Melanzak. Melanzak charging. Looking for a shot. She loses the ball. It's loose on the ground and picked up by the Scots. And then a foul on the Seahawks.
Real disappointing.
All this coming with 1:22 to play in the second half.
Nothing Carly could do than the defense swarmed her on that play. Created that turnover.
Danielle McGuire will hold. Move out of her crease now. McGuire at the 20. Trying to lob it up ahead. Stephanie Fitzgerald takes it there at the 35. Approaching 60 seconds to play in the second half. Seahawks trailing by 2. Not in possession of the ball. $50 to play now.
Salve's got to create some pressure here. Got to get a turnover, a double team, even a triple team. Cannot let Gordon work the ball around right now.
Fitzgerald back to Bloomberg, back to Fitzgerald, holding on the far side of the field. 30 seconds to play. And the window may be closing here on Salve Regina. 25 seconds to play now. Scott's just holding the ball, moving it around the perimeter. No real pressure being forced by Salve Regina. Grace Kelly commits a foul on the far side. But with 14 seconds to play and Salve Regina trailing by 2, this game may be over.
Yeah, I mean, Salve had their opportunities towards the end of this game. They had some really good, long possessions, just unable to capitalize.
3, 2, 1. The horn sounds, and this game is over. The Seahawks fall 14-12 against the Fighting Scots of Gordon College. They fall to 3-5 on the season, 0-1 now in conference play. And disappointing loss for the Seahawks. Much, much better effort, though, than we saw last time out for Salve Regina.
Yeah, they came out with double or even triple the effort there. Great game plan towards the first half there to attack the middle, play some strong offense. You know, good defense leads to even better offense. But the consistency trailed off towards the second half. The Seahawks could not find an answer for Stephanie Fitzgerald. They couldn't have a score to match her productivity. But like you said, it is the first game of CCC play, but it was a great effort by both teams and a good way to start the season.
And a lot of the early scoring coming for the Scots due to all those short-handed penalty minutes, basically, that came. So that might be a point of emphasis for Jennifer Foster as they prepare for their next game. I'd like to thank our entire staff and production crew and to you for listening. The Seahawks next travel to take on Curry this Wednesday at 7 before returning home for a matchup with the University of New England next Saturday at noon. You will hear the entire call of that game right here on Ustream. Until then, I'm Andrew Pizzelli alongside Leon Bales. Thank you for listening.